Good afternoon, folks. This is Fred Campos, owner of DFW Website Designers. It is a wonderful Sunday, July the 10th, 2022. This is episode number 430 of your 3 business tips at 3 o'clock in and around 3 minutes. Solopreneur, small business people, we are in the process of wrapping up or coming to a close on habits, about making good habits. And today we're going to talk about the golden time of when's the best time to make some great new habits for us. We're going to talk about crisis, emergencies, and life changes. Business tip number 1, crisis. Now you're probably saying, Fred, golden time for habits, when's the best time to make habits? Well, believe it or not, we talked previously about that keystone time, but today we're going to talk about times that are dramatic. And even though those are times you got to watch out for willpower for making bad habits, they're also a very good time to make good habits. And when you are in crisis, whether it's in crisis in your business or crisis in personal, take a deep breath, think about what you want to add into your life, and that's the best time. I don't know if it's just because your brain is intensified or the situation's intensified, but forming new habits are the best time to do that is during crisis. By the way, it's also the best time to worry and not fall into bad habits, as we talked about yesterday. Business tip number 2 is emergencies. You have some sort of emergency in your life, and we talked yesterday about that being a time that you really got to watch your willpower, but that's also a time to start a new good habit. Emergencies have a tendency to exemplify something. I'm told of a story of a friend of mine who was trying to quit smoking that had a relative die of cancer. His 6-year-old daughter walked up and said, "Daddy, I don't want you to die." That situation was so dramatic, he never took another puff of cigarettes. You can start new habits by factoring and using emergencies that are in your life. Business tip number 3 is during life changes. You have a move, you're getting a divorce, you are starting school, you're graduating from school, you're starting a new job. Life changes are another great hook to put in good habits. Something happens about that when we do life changes that motivates us to take it to the next level, as Emily Gossi would say. Now, I'm not saying that you can't start new habits outside of the loop of crisis, emergency, or life change, but those seem to be areas that habits start very well. So let's talk about that a second. Most of that is in your head. So what you can do is create an emotional experience that you're fostering that you determine is a time for a life change. For me, I've always joined in the group that wanted to set goals on January 1st, but I also made July 1st, this fictitious line in the sand of the midpoint of the year, as a really high goal day. And as such, that becomes the crisis, emergency, self-driven, life-changing day. So what is that for you? You don't have to wait for a crisis, emergency, or life change. You can foster one mentally. And that's the best time to start new habits. That's what I'm learning today. Anything I learn, I throw the fence to you because I want you guys to be awesome and start great habits. Now go back to sleep.